What an exciting day. This is truly the culmination of years of hard work. The foundation has reached a pivotal moment. Every day, we work to ensure our community has access to life-saving equipment and advanced technology that we all rely on at our MET and our OLET campuses. But our vision doesn't rest on today's achievements. We are building the bridge to tomorrow, preparing to equip the Fancy Family Hospital and elevate healthcare in Windsor, Essex to a whole new level. We are only able to have this tremendous impact on patient care because of our donors. The generosity pouring into this project is unlike anything our region has ever seen. Philanthropy plays a critical role in this new hospital. This is the most important investment that we have ever made in our collective well-being. It takes an extraordinary amount of faith, vision, and generosity. From the first Starry Night fundraiser to the absolutely transformational gifts we've recently celebrated, your dedication is a huge part of the reason we are gathered here today. I'd like to take a moment to celebrate the individuals and families who have made significant commitments to the Fancy Family Hospital. To the first donors to announce and show the community that they are behind this project and care for our future generations of little ones, the Soltz Family Foundation. To the couple who in their retirement decided to give back to the patients who trusted them in their care, Dr. Tony and Mary Pattinson. To the two families that joined together for the future of heart and lung care in our region, the Colavinos. To the first community group to step up in support of advanced education, the Chinese community of Windsor and Essex County. And of course, a man whose historic donation astounded our community when he quietly left his entire estate to support this monumental healthcare transformation, the late John Thomas Fancy. While I can't recognize every person or group who has donated to this project, please know that every one of you makes a difference. These commitments leave the ultimate legacy to the people who call Windsor Essex home. A healthier, stronger future for us and for generations to come. So to everyone supporting the Fancy Family Hospital and to future donors, thank you for stepping up. Thank you for investing in our future, and thank you for being part of this region's history. It is now my pleasure to invite the sister of John Thomas Fancy to share a few words on behalf of the family. Please welcome Terry Fancy.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? It is a tremendous honor to stand here today as we celebrate the groundbreaking of the new Fancy Family Hospital. On behalf of our family, thank you to everyone whose vision, dedication, and hard work have brought us to this historic day. Today is about far more than breaking ground for a building. It is about creating a place where hope begins, healing happens, and lives are changed. Our parents taught us that if you are fortunate enough to be able to help others, you do so with humility. They believed that generosity wasn't about recognition, it was about making a difference. Throughout their lives, they gave quietly and sincerely, never seeking the spotlight. Those values became the foundation of our family. Our brother John has carried those lessons with him. His extraordinary gift is not about our family name. It is about investing in people. It is about ensuring that every patient who comes through those doors has access to the very best care, and that families facing life's most difficult moments can do so with hope close at hand. As we look ahead to the opening of this hospital, we also want to recognize the remarkable people who will bring this building to life. To our paramedics, firefighters, police officers, and all first responders, thank you for being there in life's most critical moments, bringing people here when every second matters. To the physicians, nurses, technicians, therapists, support staff, volunteers, and every member of the hospital team, thank you for the compassion, skill, and dedication you show every day. Together, you are the heart of this hospital. You will care for our families, comfort us in difficult times, celebrate joyful moments with us, and save countless lives. And to everyone who has donated, every dollar counts, and how wonderful it is that you are helping to make this hospital a reality. As a family, we are incredibly proud that our parents' legacy of quiet generosity and our brother John's selfless gift will continue through this hospital and through the exceptional people who will serve within its walls. May this hospital stand for generations as a symbol of hope, healing, compassion, and community. Thank you.
Today marks an important milestone, but it is also the beginning of the work that will bring this vision to life. In the coming weeks, crews will focus on the site preparations, followed by the excavation, which will ramp up over the summer. Construction will begin in the northeast corner of the property and continue across the site to the east and to the south until the hospital is built through all three phases. The first phase includes a 700-vehicle parking garage, an education and administrative building, and site infrastructure. While this is being built, our team is continuing to advance Phase 2 and Phase 3. The tendering process to select a team to design, build, and finance the diagnostic and treatment block, the clinical heart of the building, is underway already. Tendering for a modern inpatient tower designed to support exceptional patient care will follow and will complete this vision. Together, these phases will form the Fancy Family Hospital and transform healthcare in Windsor, Essex. Our next two speakers and the counselors they represent have shown what we can accomplish when communities unite with a shared vision. Under their leadership, the City of Windsor and the County of Essex have and are continuing to make significant investments in the infrastructure in the area surrounding the site. Since 2017, the City of Windsor and the County of Essex and the support of the taxpayers across the region have been committed partners in helping fund the local share of this project. Anytime we've needed support or a conversation to move forward, they have been a phone call away. Brandon Bailey, our Vice President of Redevelopment, has worked on several major hospital projects across Ontario. He often reminds me that this level of collaboration is not the norm. This is something very special, and it flows right down to our teams at the planning tables. Rather than working in silos, we are working collaboratively. They meet regularly, share updates, and work together through challenges. Together, we are aligning municipal and healthcare planning in the region to build a stronger future for Windsor, Essex. Please join me in welcoming Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkens, followed by County Essex Warden Hilda MacDonald.
Okay, I'd have to go down like this to read it, so I'm not even going to read this. Is anyone as happy as I am to be here today? Oh my gosh. What a great day, and it's certainly an honor to be here with all of you today alongside Premier Ford, our federal and provincial partners, the Fancy family, healthcare professionals, my colleagues on City Council, and everyone in this room whose hard work has brought us to this historic day. There are moments in a community, in every community, that become a defining part of its history. Moments that future generations look back and they recognize as turning points, and today is one of those moments. You know, years from now, people may not remember. I'm guaranteeing you won't remember who the mayor was, who the premier was, who the minister of health was, who was on city, well, they'll remember you, Premier, but who was on city council? No one is going to remember any of these things, but they're going to look back after today's announcement, and they're going to remember that this was the day that we officially broke ground on the first phase of construction of a hospital that will transform healthcare in Windsor and Essex County. For decades, our community has understood that the future of Windsor, Essex required a new vision for healthcare, that our hospitals have served this region well and with extraordinary dedication and compassion from their staff. Our healthcare professionals have delivered exceptional care through some of life's most difficult and meaningful moments, and their commitment has never wavered, and our community owes them an extreme debt of gratitude. But as Windsor, Essex has evolved, so too has the need for exceptional healthcare and modern state-of-the-art facilities to deliver it. In partnership with other levels of government, we have worked to attract billions of dollars in new investment that are helping to transform our economy. Thousands of jobs have been created while our population continues to grow as more families choose to call this region home. We are experiencing the exact kind of success that every community hopes to achieve. And that growth has a ripple effect that all levels of government are responsible for supporting, because investments do not happen or exist in isolation. Trade attracts investments. Investments create jobs. Jobs attract families. Of course, families need housing. And growing neighborhoods require roads, parks, transit, and community services. And a growing city needs world-class healthcare. And that is what city building looks like. And today's hospital groundbreaking is a bigger part of that story. Today reflects our shared commitment to ensuring that healthcare infrastructure keeps pace with the transformation that's taking place across Windsor and Essex County for the residents that we serve today and for the generations that will call this region home tomorrow. This hospital will provide patients and families with modern facilities while giving our physicians, our nurses, and healthcare professionals the tools, technology, and environment that they need to continue delivering exceptional care. It will attract talent, support research and innovation, and strengthen partnerships with our post-secondary institutions. It will give our families and businesses confidence that this is a community that they can build their future in. A project of this magnitude does not happen because of one person or one organization or one level of government, and that video that was played a few minutes ago speaks to that. It happens because partners come together around a shared vision. And Windsor has been committed to this project since day one, standing in lockstep with our partners, advocating for the investment, and all of you know, shouting that we can't wait from the rooftops when it mattered most. And our Premier and his team heard our call, and they responded by making this a #1 priority project. That same Premier promised that he would go in there like an 800-pound gorilla and fight tooth and nail for the hospital down in Windsor, Essex. And Premier Doug Ford kept his word in Windsor, Essex, and got us to today, to these shovels in the ground. And Premier, we thank you for that. This is more than just a regional hospital. This is a once-in-a-generation project that is delivering results in key growth areas where we are quite literally building our region's future. And I would like to take a moment to thank Premier Ford, Deputy Premier and Minister of Health Sylvia Jones, MPPs Andrew Dowie, Anthony Leardi, and Minister Trevor Jones, and the entire Ontario government for recognizing the importance of this project. And I also want to recognize Windsor Regional Hospital, Kristen, David Mouche, Christina, all of the foundation team, the board members, everyone who plays a hand in putting the pieces together that are so crucial to move us forward. And of course, our healthcare professionals, our municipal administration, our city councillors who are here in the room, who have been for 3 terms in lockstep, never wavering, unanimous to say, keep the funding going. We want to make sure we deliver our part of this hospital. And of course, to all the donors and the Fancy family, to Terry and to James, thank you. Your generosity will forever be part of the story of this hospital and the lives changed within the walls. Today, we are laying another cornerstone to build and protect the prosperous and resilient future of Windsor, Essex, a future defined by growth, by opportunity, by partnership, and by responsible investment, and by the confidence that the very best chapters in our story are still ahead of us as we remain focused on Windsor's long game, on our region's prosperity and strength, and on protecting our future. Thank you, and congratulations to every single person who played a hand in making this historic day possible. Let's get building and keep our momentum going. Warden.
Well, I'm bringing that down quite a bit lower, but a foot. Well, good morning. Don't you love the vibe in this room? Come on, don't you love the vibe? Yes. I'm honored to be here on behalf of the County of Essex, and I'm going to tell you this, even though you stole my thunder. We can't wait. How awesome is that? For years, Windsor and Essex County couldn't wait. And today, my friends, the wait is over. And I know it's already been said before, but this groundbreaking marks the beginning of a new era in regional healthcare. And it's also the culmination of an incredible community campaign. And community is all of us. The Fancy Family Hospital will end hallway healthcare. It will strengthen our economy. And it will, for me, so importantly, will improve the quality of life for families across Windsor, Essex, not for today, not for tomorrow, but for generations to come. Again, how awesome is that? And I'm going to repeat myself. We can't wait. And when you think about it, former warden, it was only a few short years ago that our region rallied around that slogan to ensure that this historic project moved ahead when there were concerns it might be shelved. Remember that, Mayor McNamara? From Lakeshore to LaSalle, from Leamington all the way to Lausanne Road, residents across Windsor and all 7 Essex County municipalities united behind one simple message. We can't wait. I think we need a t-shirt. They wrote letters, they took to social media, they planted lawn signs, and they told Queen's Park that Windsor, Essex would not be left behind, that our residents deserved a modern hospital and an integrated healthcare system. And look at us now. That advocacy paid off, thanks to the work of our hospital partners and the support of the province. Thank you, Premier Doug Ford, for hearing the voice of our community. Truly, truly appreciated. And then not only hearing and listening, but helping deliver the largest healthcare investment in our region's history. By the end of this year, and I'm going to toot our own horn here, County of Essex, we, the county, will have committed $65 million to this generational project because we believe in this future as well. The county's work, of course, is just beginning. We're investing hundreds of millions of dollars in roads and infrastructure that will support this hospital and consequently our growing region. We are also leveraging this hospital's strategic location to strengthen emergency ambulance services. The county has purchased property nearby for a new EMS headquarters that will optimize paramedic resources, improve patient care, and support a more integrated healthcare system. For years we said, we can't wait. Today, my friends, the wait is over. Let's put those shovels in the ground. Well, we will. We aren't just breaking ground for a new hospital. Again, we're building healthier communities. We're building a stronger regional government, or regional economy. Sorry about that one. That was a Freudian slip. And together, I keep getting in trouble with these slips of the tongue, don't I? Anyway, together we're building a stronger regional economy, and we're building a better future for everyone who calls Windsor and Essex County home. I'm looking forward to a wonderful future, and also for the generations to come. I think we collectively can take credit for that. This is generational. This is for the ones that are still coming. And with that, I'm pleased to welcome Andrew Dowie, Member of Provincial Parliament for Windsor, Essex, Tecumseh, to share some remarks. Thank you.
Warden MacDonald, thank you so much for that kind introductions and for your ongoing leadership on behalf of the people of Essex County. It's really a privilege to be with you, as well as Premier Ford, Mayor Dilkens, Mayor McNamara, all the municipal leaders and community leaders, healthcare professionals, donors, volunteers, and residents from all across Windsor, Essex, as we celebrate a truly, truly historic milestone. This is the groundbreaking of the new Fancy Family Hospital. For well over 15 years, people across Windsor and Essex County have championed the need for modern hospital infrastructure that can meet the demands of a growing and aging population. We all know that the road to this moment has not always been a straight one, and there were times when people questioned whether this project would ever move from vision to reality. But throughout that journey, one thing never changed. That's the determination of this community to not let this project fall off the agenda. And I want to thank the advocacy of local municipalities, particularly our local mayors, who united to say this was our number one priority. Our hospital leadership, who worked tooth and nail to get the job done. To our healthcare workers, to our community organizations, and to all the residents, especially those who stepped up with their advocacy to make the case that Windsor Essex deserved this investment. And I truly want to recognize the steadfast leadership of Premier Doug Ford. From the earliest stages of the planning that he approved, through the historic investment that made construction possible, Premier Ford remained committed to getting this project across the finish line. And when our government committed funding for planning and later committed the billions needed to build this state-of-the-art hospital, it sent a powerful message that Windsor Essex matters, that our families matter, and that our healthcare system matters. The Premier's commitment, together with the work of Minister Sylvia Jones, former Minister Christine Elliott, and the countless public servants and healthcare leaders, have transformed years of discussion into a concrete plan, and that plan into the groundbreaking that we are celebrating today. And today's ceremony is proof of what can happen when a community's determination is matched by government's commitment to act. This hospital will help attract and retain world-class healthcare professionals. It will support leading-edge medical technology and innovation. It will create opportunities for education, for research, and for economic growth. And most importantly, it will provide exceptional care for patients and families when they need it the most. And that is why today's milestone matters so, so much. So to everyone in this room who helped make today a reality, thank you. And now it's my sincere pleasure to introduce a truly strong advocate for healthcare across our region, the Member of Provincial Parliament for Essex and the Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Health, Anthony Leardi. Please join me in welcoming Anthony.
Hello, everybody. My name is Anthony Leardi, and I am the Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Health. I'm also the member of provincial parliament for the riding of Essex, and that means if you live in Kingsville or Essex or Amherstburg or Lakeshore or LaSalle, I represent you at Queen's Park in the provincial government of Premier Doug Ford. Today is a milestone for people who live in Essex County. It is part of our government's $64 billion plan to renew healthcare infrastructure here in the province of Ontario. As we speak today, we have 17 major multi-million-dollar capital projects undergoing for hospitals in the province of Ontario. And when we break ground today, we will have 18 major capital hospital projects going on simultaneously in the province of Ontario. I want to say it feels really great to have an 800-pound gorilla on our side. So thank you, Premier Doug Ford, for your leadership. Thank you, Minister Sylvia Jones, Minister of Health, for your dedication. Thank you to the Fancy family and to all of our donors for your financial support. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me with a resounding applause and welcome the Premier of the province of Ontario, the Honourable Doug Ford.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank everyone. When I walked in the room, I thought, wow, look at the amount of people, and every single person contributed. And I got to tell you, Anthony and Andrew, you were champions. You've been champions right from day one, along with the mayor and the warden, all the mayors and all the elected officials. Thank you for everything you're doing. But I'm going to get to the rest of the conversation in a minute, folks. But I want to begin talking about the wildfires here. I want to acknowledge and thank the emergency responders. And that includes over 150 fire crews. Those are huge numbers that are on the ground right now as we speak and throughout the night, fighting to protect northern communities from the ongoing forest fires. You know, it's not just the firefighters, they're on the front line, but it's the police officers, it's the OPP, it's the Canadian Armed Forces that are up there that actually helped rescue a camp, a bunch of campers from YMCA that were on the lake and with conjunction with the OPP. But there is good news. There's no fatalities. Because of the amazing work that our first responders, be it the paramedics and firefighters and OPP and our military, there's been no fatalities, which is pretty remarkable considering the size of these fires. And I always say our government will not spare an expense, not one single penny. We will spend whatever it takes to support getting them the support and the resources they need to keep people safe. And just to give you an idea, you know, I don't got to get political, but you know, they're out there, social media, so on and so forth, underfunding. We'd never underfund our firefighters, ever, never, ever. We've more than doubled the annual base funding, folks, for emergency firefighting. When I came into office, it was $70 million. It's up over $150 million. But if you include the base funding and include firefighters, the aircraft and equipment are in place before fire season begins. So we can respond immediately when fires break out. We know every year, no matter if it's flooding or fire, we're prepared. Fire seasons vary significantly, as you know, from year to year, no matter if it's in Ontario or across the country or in our south of the border. So while our base budget might be $150 million, every year we spend significantly more. If you add up everything, it's well in excess, just on a overall budget, over $1.5 billion. But for instance, last year it was $271 million on wildland fire response alone. And since 2018, we've spent over $1.5 billion on wildland firefighting. But our government will continue to spare no expense to protect the people and the communities. Ahead of the fire season, we added over 68 new permanent positions, building on the 100 permanent positions we added last year. We also increased, and this is so important, folks, we increased compensation for critical frontline staff, including wildland firefighters, pilots, and aircraft maintenance engineers, to recruit and retain the skilled professionals who keep Ontario safe. This is another critical part that isn't part of base funding, but it's actually 1,000% more increase in funding. We've invested over $650 million to purchase 5 new helicopters and 6 new water bombers. Those are absolutely critical, and we'll continue. I'm going to talk to the rest of the premiers. We're heading out to the Confederation meeting in PEI next week. But we need support from the federal government to buy fire bombers. By the way, the military is phenomenal, but they just do rescue. They don't have the big water bombers, and so we need the water bombers that can be deployed anywhere in our country. And we'll continue to support all the communities that have been forced to evacuate because of these terrible fires. We have also requested that the federal government, including the Canadian Armed Forces, which are incredible people, be prepared to rapidly deploy federal resources that they deployed an incredible rescue yesterday to support evacuations when and where necessary. And I want to thank them for their support that they've pivoted to this point. Usually you have to give them 48 hours. But it's one phone call and bang, they're on their way. I love our military. That includes their support over the last few days, supporting a search and rescue of hikers trapped near wildfires in northern Ontario. And thank God those kids were rescued. It was pretty wild scenario there. But finally, I want to acknowledge the incredible support we're receiving from across our entire country. This is what makes Canada beautiful. When everyone needs help, everyone comes in. We're getting crews from the Yukon and Alberta that are here in Ontario on the ground right now. And on behalf of everyone in our province, I just want to thank the other provinces for their support. So folks, I'll tell you, it's great to be back here. On more positive news, we're going to get through these wildfires, but on more positive news, it's great to be back in Windsor, Essex, alongside our local champions, as I gave them a shout out, PAs Leardi and Dowie, and our great mayor and warden, thank you. I'll tell you, you call me an 800-pound gorilla. Even the warden, you're about 1/10 my size, you're an 800-pound gorilla when it comes for fighting for the hospital, for fighting for infrastructure, and Drew, you are as well. And you know, this wouldn't be this wouldn't be possible without your leadership, Kristen. I know you've been on the job just for a short period. You have big shoes to fill with David, but we have confidence. And Christina, thank you for mentioning all the donors. And yes, we have the family, Fancy family here, and the Salt family, and you mentioned some others. But do you know what makes a difference? Is a person that donates the $100, the $1,000, the $2,000, that makes the difference. And the entire team at Windsor Regional Hospital, thank you. Couldn't happen without the foundation, Christina, so you're amazing. I want to thank for their dedication to the service of Windsor Essex community, making sure the region's growing population gets the world-class health care they deserve. And this wouldn't be possible without the great docs. I love our doctors, our nurses, our PSWs, and this might be unusual that I say this, but no hospital, Kristen knows this, no hospital runs without a phenomenal maintenance department. The engineers and people, the electricians and people that keep the water moving, they always get left out, and the people that clean the rooms and so on and so forth, the hospital is shut down without them, so I'm very, very grateful for everything they do. And it's wonderful to be here to mark such an important milestone on this critical project. I remember back in 2018, when you got that big smile on your face, Mayor. You had hair back then when I saw you on the video. And I was probably 70 pounds lighter back then. But I remember it distinctly saying, no matter what, we're getting a hospital. We didn't cross the finish line on the previous folks that were in office. I said, no matter life or death, we're getting that hospital in the ground. And my friends at Ellis Don, thank you. I have a few words. On time, on budget. On time, on budget. That's what we like to know. And thank you, because they're building hospitals all around our province, by the way, and they're an incredible company. As you know, our government has been delivering on our plan to protect Ontario. Through our plan, we're working to create jobs, protect workers from the tariffs and economic uncertainty, and protect the services like healthcare that people across Ontario are accounting for. I always say, I say this all the time, the foundation of our healthcare system, our education system, our infrastructure, social services is one thing. It's our economy. Our economy is critical to absolutely everything, no matter if it's the highways we're building or the hospitals and so on and so forth. We're going to keep the economy going strong. And that's why last week in Calgary, Alberta, Premier Danielle Smith and I unveiled the proposed route of Northern Shield Energy Corridor. And I'm going to get to the reason why we're announcing this, running from Hardisty, Alberta to just north here in Sarnia, Ontario. You know, this new pipeline built with Canadian steel would bring Alberta oil to Ontario refineries along an all-Canadian route, supporting good-paying jobs, including right here in Windsor, Essex, protecting Canadian sovereignty and security, and building a more united Canadian economy. When I was briefed yesterday about the jobs, it's going to be 10,000 jobs for the region. Just think of that. 10,000 jobs for the region. We don't, and I love our American friends, by the way. I just don't like one guy down there. But anyways, I love our American friends. I spent 20 years of my life in there. But I know the warden and the mayor were always held hostage for Line 5, right? Line 5, it came from Alberta, but it had to go through the U.S., and Michigan had a problem with it. I'm thinking we're being held hostage. Never again will we be held hostage for anyone, no matter if it's the Middle East, wars going on there, or if it's coming in through the U.S. We'll have our own sovereignty, right? Oil independence. It's going to be amazing when we get that done. So it's never been done. We're getting that pipeline done. You know, we want to protect the workers and businesses. Our government is also cutting red tape until we can fund hospitals and keeping taxes and fees low. And I always believe in, never raising a tax, would never raise the tax. And I'm getting to the hospital in a minute, but they've written all this other stuff. By cutting we're cutting $12 billion, and we'll never raise a tax, and 1.8 million working hours of red tape. But that money now has allowed us to spend over $64 billion in healthcare because of the measures that we've done. Just think of this. Anywhere in Ontario, you're either getting an addition to a hospital or you're getting a brand new hospital at 50 different sites. And we have 18 massive projects underway, and the other 32 are coming along. But what an incredible achievement here in Windsor. And I always say it's about cooperation, collaboration, and most important is communication. And we're doubling down on the infrastructure of about $236 billion planned to build. And I always get scared when I see the warden and the mayor, because I stick my hand in my pocket and I got his big mitts in there, and the warden for more money, and I just believe in infrastructure. We have the largest infrastructure plan in Canadian history, and getting shovels in the ground to build hospitals and schools and highways and transit to connect communities and create jobs in our great economy. We're also delivering for residents right here in Windsor, Essex. Building the future of Ontario's advanced manufacturing sector through the Nexstar Energy Battery Facility, Canada's first commercial-scale battery manufacturing plant, which will create up to 2,500 good-paying jobs while strengthening Ontario's manufacturing and auto supply chains, recognizing the critical role of border economies like Windsor. We're protecting workers and families impacted by U.S. tariffs, investing more than $2 billion in training programs and across the province, but a lot of training programs right here in Windsor, Essex, to help workers stay on the job. I always say a better job and a bigger paycheck, as well as train and retrain, upgrade their skills for jobs of tomorrow. And through Ontario Together Trade Fund, we're helping manufacturers right here in Windsor make nearly $44 million of new investments that are protecting and creating good-paying jobs across the region in metal stamping, welding, and industrial chemicals and other critical industries. We have shovels in the ground to widen Highway 3 in Essex and Leamington, expanding it from 2 to 4 lanes, and we're investing $50 million to build new interchange at Banwell Road. You know, folks, I apologize because they're going a little too campaigny on this speech for me. This is all about the hospital. So to ensure everyone in Ontario was connected to reliable health care close to home, our government is investing a historic $64 billion, as I mentioned earlier, to build and upgrade 50 hospitals across the province, which brings us why we're here today. Supported by our government's investment of more than $202 million for now. It's going to be in the multi-billion dollars area. I'm thrilled to celebrate the groundbreaking on the new Fancy Family Hospital. With more than 100 additional beds, the new Fancy Family Hospital will help lower wait times in the region, providing families across Windsor, Essex with access to new 24/7 emergency department. And Kristen, I can't begin to tell you how many calls I get about this emergency department. Everyone has my cell number, and I'm getting calls nonstop. But you're doing a great job. We're going to keep moving forward. Maternal and newborn care, neurological, cardiology, surgical, and other specialized services, all closer to home. And I just want to thank again the Fancy Hospital, Salt family, everyone else. I hate leaving people out because everyone plays a critical role. But Terry, your brother John, his legacy will go down in history. His legacy will be around for decades and decades and decades. As the mayor said, long after we're gone. I don't know about you, Mayor, but I plan on sticking around for a little bit because we got to come down here and walk through those front doors. And the entire Fancy family for the extraordinary generosity. And I remember that day when we were down here making that announcement, Terry, and it was incredible. And making this incredible vision a reality. And I just look forward to returning to celebrate the new Fancy Family Hospital's opening. The hospital is an incredible achievement of the community. It takes everyone involved here and a symbol of the growth and opportunity we're building here in Windsor for many generations to come. Again, I just want to thank everyone in this room, and I want to thank everyone who's not in this room that's contributing, especially another shout out for the frontline healthcare workers that are now in the hospital working as we're here. I'm very grateful. Thank you, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you so much, everyone.
Premier, if I could just get you back on stage when you're ready. Back on stage. Yeah. Okay. We'll now take questions from the media. Media present can line up behind me and ask their questions through the microphone. As a friendly reminder, the format is one question and one follow-up. Please state your name and your outlet before your question.
Okay, folks, this is going to be the entertaining part. Mark my words. We're sticking with hospitals and wildfires, I hope. Okay, go ahead, guys.
I'll stick with the hospital. I'm Maureen with Blackburn News. The last time we had a figure for the hospital was around $2 billion. I think that was in 2014. Do we have an updated figure of what this hospital project will cost?
We will come up with those final numbers. It's massive. It's massive, multiple billions of dollars. And we'll get you that number. Thank you. But it started way down here and it's just right through the roof right now. But honestly, I'm always conscious. I'm a prudent fiscal manager. But we'll spend what it takes and we'll be prudent about it, no matter what it takes. We're building this hospital and we aren't going to spare a penny. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Hello, Premier Taylor Campbell with the Windsor Star. Not a question about the hospital or the wildfires, but about bridges. Earlier this week, Mayor Dilkens said he wonders if the Ambassador Bridge might be sold to a regional bridge or border crossing authority because it might be more successful managed in conjunction with the new Gordie Howe Bridge. What do you make of that suggestion?
Well, that's going to be up to the family that owns the Ambassador Bridge. What I'm focused on is the Gordie Howe Bridge. I can't wait to come back. And are we biking it, walking it, or driving it, Mayor? Okay, well, we're going across that bridge, and thank God it's open because it does 25% of all trade with the U.S. across our entire country. That's how much volume goes through. And the Ambassador Bridge handles about $1 billion of two-way trade daily. And just to give you an idea, just Ontario alone, we do $500 billion of two-way trade with the U.S. These are staggering numbers. So I always say in life, with the hospital, with jobs here in Windsor, people want certainty. They want stability. And when you don't have certainty with these tariffs, investment stalls. But when you do have certainty, you have the investments, you have jobs, you have production, you have lower cost of goods. So we're hoping we get through these tariffs.
Hello, Premier Ford. Thanks for being here and taking our questions. My name is Emma Loop. I'm a reporter with CBC Windsor. Another bridge question for you. What is your understanding of the opening deal that was struck between Canada and the U.S. to actually open the deal the bridge on July 27th? We've heard different things from the Prime Minister and from officials about maybe how that net profit sharing is going to work. What's your understanding of the details?
Well, that's a question for the Prime Minister to answer. I'm sure it was between the President and the Prime Minister that struck the deal, but if I knew, I'd mention it, but I just don't. All I'm happy is that we're going across that bridge, and that's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be a historic time for the whole region and entire province until you don't have one company having a monopoly on a bridge. That was not good for many, many years. So now we have competition. Nothing is better than the lower cost than competition.
Okay, and a question from my colleagues at CBC Sudbury. People evacuated due to wildfires in Northern Ontario are calling for better assistance, not only during evacuations, but also afterward. For example, more suitable housing, clothing, and for help in rebuilding the community once the danger has been brought under control. How is the provincial government planning to help in that sense?
Well, through emergency services, we have a fund there to support any natural disasters, no matter if it's flooding or if it's wildfires. We'll be there. The emergency service team and firefighters, OPP, our military, local first responders, again, paramedics, they've done an incredible job. An incredible job considering what we see, the infernos. And the last number, folks, I think it was 187 wildfires. hectares and hectares are and they're catching. They're going right even from the state of Minnesota, hopping over to Ontario, and the winds are picking up. I get briefed 4 or 5 times a day on this. We're all over it. I have 4 ministers in the north right now overseeing it. But we're throwing every single resource we possibly can. And again, we aren't going to spare a penny. And I just want to thank all the cities. I'm going to probably leave a few out, but Sudbury, Timmins, Thunder Bay are taking probably over 1,000 people, Niagara Falls. So it's spread right out, and I probably left a half a dozen out, but that's what Ontario does. We all come together in emergencies, and we make sure that they have shelter, they have food, they have water, they have health care. That's what we do here in Ontario. And they do an incredible job. I got to give a shout out to Mike Harris, the Minister of Natural Resources, Jill Dunlop, Emergency Service, the Ontario Corps. So they're doing an incredible job. But it's a multi-ministerial situation right now, no matter if it's Hydro One or if it's the infrastructure or the roads, emergency services, obviously healthcare as well. But everyone's pitching in. It's really remarkable, the job everyone's doing.
Rob Hindy from AM 800. Krista mentioned the phase-in approach here for this project. Do we have timelines when phase 1 could be completed and when you like to see the entire process or the hospital be completed?
That's a good question for the boss to answer. Kristen, do you want to answer that? Or do you have the answer, or do you want to? You want to answer it later, you said, or now? I just say faster, quicker, immediate on everything. That's my new slogan. We're in an economic war with the guy south of the border. We got to move, no matter if it's infrastructure or hospitals or our nuclear capabilities or critical minerals. Folks, we have everything. Like, we have everything. You got to get government moving. Government drives me crazy, by the way. They do. You got to move. Yes.
This will be the last reporter. Stephanie Mazzotti from CTV News. Windsor Premier, thank you for being here. Obviously a historic day for us in Windsor, Essex. However, I do have questions for my colleagues at CTV News in Toronto, so bear with me. So it appears many public transit fleets are downgrading their insurance with the new regulations, so the people they hit won't be eligible for income replacement benefits or death benefits if they aren't covered elsewhere. Same with the province's motor vehicle accident claims funds, which pays out claims in hit and runs when the driver can't be identified. Was it your intention to disadvantage people who are hit by buses or hit in hit and runs?
Honestly, the first time I've heard of this one, but that's a mouthful, that one. But I can get our team to call you back on that. So,
it was a question sent to me word for word, so
yeah,
we will reach out. I guess Toronto will reach out to you.
Yeah, we will reach out to the great crew, media crew in Toronto.
Okay, sounds great. Also, then maybe I can get 2 additional questions. Okay, so my second question is, what were some of the reasons shared with you about why MPPs who live close to Queen's Park felt they were eligible for a hotel stay, and is that acceptable to you?
Well, as my colleagues know, unacceptable. I'll leave it at that. Totally unacceptable. And I've told them, you're paying back every single penny. That's not the way we operate. Simple as that. And not to get into details, as my 2 colleagues will tell you, when I talked to caucus, you literally had to pull me off the roof. We don't, anyways, unacceptable.
Okay, the third question. A memo shows your office is looking to reduce spending by instituting a hiring freeze, eliminating positions. Why
right.
now?
Well, because we have to lead. You know, we're driving efficiencies throughout the province, and I directed my chief of staff. I want to see $1 million savings, and that's a big chunk out of an office. And so that's
okay,
it. We just cut $1 million, and that's critical. got to lead by example.
And that concludes our media questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.